piece rental is about $75. $75 for 12 by 12 per day.
And is it first come, first serve?
No, we go through a torturous reservation process. We do a lot based on seniority. Folks who have been here for years generally get their places back as long as they're in good standing. We try to make decisions based on commodity. If we have a product that doesn't have representation here, that's a priority, and they come to the market.
What is the time frame? When do you open and when do you close?
This market's year-round. The winter is the skeleton of what it is in the summer. You know, maybe hosting 20 stands or so, but yeah. In our 50 markets, maybe 17, 18 of them stay open year-round. Then they stagger openings starting in April.
We've seen in the last 3 years, though, our winter markets have really grown out a lot. And there's huge potential for this growth. Right now, most of our produce growers stop by December, but some people are starting to do more high tunnel production, more greenhouse production. Everybody's craving greens here in February, so there's huge potential to keep growing out those winter markets. But in terms of getting your eggs and fruit and protein and chicken, lamb, all the meat producers are here, our cheese makers are here, our orchards are always here. Other fruit, but yeah, storage, there's storage facilities, cold foods, and
Do your temperatures not fall below zero then here?
Oh yes, they do.
I would think the fruit sitting out would freeze.
Sometimes it does at market, yes.
Oh yeah, we have photos of apples covered in snow, cans completely covered in snow. But we're New Yorkers, our customers come out. They trudge through it and shop.
So the people who apply, in order to apply and, get in, how many people are don't get in and are waiting?
Well, they have to be growing what they are bringing in, and they have to be within our region, which is roughly 200 miles around the city. So if they fit both of those characteristics, then they will be accepted into the program. If they're a farmer. What's that? We keep opening more and more markets every year, and like you said, we try and reach a commodity balance at each market, so we just look for where there are holes.
I mean, with the network, a lot of people know us through this market, and they think Union Square, and this is a very high volume market. There's a lot of traffic. Some producers, do gangbusters. Surprisingly, other producers do not. They do better in neighborhood markets. And our neighborhood markets are less well known than Union Square, but it's one of the best kept secrets in the city. So if you're a producer coming into market, we really try to get people placed. Sometimes that process takes a little shifting around. To find the right demographic for them, the right neighborhood that receives them, support their lives. But that's one of the assets that we have in the organization is that we have a lot of latitude to work with people to find the right spot with them. But generally, Union Square, if you're a tomato grower, we're pretty full out of tomatoes, so that's going to be a tough one. But if you're growing something that we don't have, like we have, we'll walk through, and we probably have a dozen new producers that came into this market just in the last year. And this is a Friday market. Our big ones are Saturday and Wednesday. Friday's probably third right now, and then Monday we have also. So
Do they come? You're here for 4 days. Does the same guy make sure he's here all 4 days, or maybe 2 out of the lineup? Okay.
Different lineup. Some people have all 4 days. Some people come 2 of those days.
Okay.
But each market day is a different lineup and almost a different personality. And certainly once you get into the neighborhood markets, every place is unique.
So when you say 200 miles, when you see local to us, 200 miles away,
Norwich and
Cayuga are all within 200 miles.
It took us 4 hours.
Cayuga is Finger Lakes.
They're in between, they're in between. But we don't have a map up here. Our region goes, it's a little lopsided, it actually, So we're deeper into New York. We cleaned all the Finger Lakes. And we have a couple outliers others that are up in Vermont and one now up to Adirondack. But that's sort of limited. But the Finger Lakes is definitely a region. We've probably got close to 2 dozen
we've seen there's a lot of people
coming from that area. Yeah.
We're happy to representation. We are,
Yeah, I'm heading up there in a couple of weeks. Get up there with you.
So these are all of our producers. We're here. And these are all of our markets.
This is Madison County. Our farm is right here. You're right.
Yeah, right at the northern tip of Cuba Lake.
Okay. Sheila is from Norwich, which is right here.
It sort of highlighted some pockets where there's intensive growing regions. Like obviously Finger Lakes, we get a lot of grape growers and vineyards. Heavy vegetable production here, big strong fruit belt here in this corridor that comes down the Hudson River. And then livestock, a lot of livestock production is actually up here now. This area is becoming really strong for livestock. We are probably blessed to have so many fishermen coming in from Long Island. We have some folks that raise shellfish the other day. That was pretty amazing. They're raising oysters, clams. Yeah, they have to, with the shellfish, they have to sort of start that from, in here. It takes a couple years to grow them out to full size, but.
So are you going out to the farms and kind of verifying?
That's my job, yeah.
Okay.
And I work with a staff, a few people.
We will do it only if people go, we'll go through the whole explanation.
One thing to pay attention to when walking through the market is that we don't regulate prices. Farmers can charge whatever they like. So we really encourage our shoppers to shop around if they're looking for a price. If it's expensive, I want.
I like that.
They have 2 toes. The center toe has a claw. This one's line. That's the kind besides the run. The run. Because of their curiosity.
So everyone can try some wine.
Hey!
The Lakers, we won.
Oh wow, yes. Ah, the Lakers, absolutely.
Championship Lakers.
Great football
World
team.
champion.
Sorry.
Kind of, we lack a lot of great good wine. They don't get wine, they get free violation for the rest of their life. Very serious about it. Yep. Learned a lot in 2 days. So they host this for food professionals in New York City that want to come up and spend 2 days learning about, really the struggles of Northeast farmers, small family farms right now. You want to tell us about your processing facility that you guys just opened up?
Well, we've been working with one of the issues in raising animals is getting them processed in a timely manner. So slaughterhouse is often a bottleneck in that process. We are very fortunate because where we're located in New York, which is due east of Saratoga, right at the Vermont line, so about 200 miles north of here. We happen to have 2 or 3 which are within an hour's drive. So we're fortunate. Others in New York State, if you're at New England, Northeast, aren't quite as fortunate. People drive from Maine to Pennsylvania sometimes to get their animals processed. It's a serious problem. But there was a cutting facility where they were just taking in animals that people would kill on their farm or that they would kill at the plant under state inspection, cutting them up, packaging them for people to put in their freezer. People would raise a pig or a beef or a cow, sell one to a neighbor, and they would just put it in their freezer. Well, they built it state of the art. They had USDA inspection, but weren't doing enough. They did that 7 years ago, and then just last year they decided there was enough demand, and through sort of my coaxing, they put in a USDA inspected slaughterhouse. So now we're able to have our pigs slaughtered. They follow the scrapes, which means they leave the skin on the pig.
So you just have to look for the chicken. You have to look for certain. But like in the same. Now you have 4. The meat on. You're gonna have to keep on this budget.
Please, take a few.
No, I'm going to. Cookie dough? Cookie dough's bad. All right, cookie dough.
They may not be
Washington County, because it's really believe it or not,
okay. So the same thing.
frontier.
We want to stay somewhere longer if it stays there.
Farming infrastructure is pretty much gone in Vermont, Connecticut, New Hampshire. And I have friends in New Hampshire who say they have to drive to New York to get a tractor park, or they have to wait for it to come from Japan. So Washington County still has the grain silos, it still has the tractor supply, that's the largest one-day livestock auction in 7 states. The infrastructure is still there, just the hardware stores and all of that there, and it's supported by commodity dairy mostly, but also a nice mix of small farms. Gansing U is in Granville, about 20 miles north. We're here, Three-Corner Field Farm, Shushan Hydroponics, Standards comes to the market, and Kraken. There's quite a few in Saratoga, Washington, northern Rensselaer County that come down here, which is great because it brings New York City money upstate to support agriculture, sort of through the market. But we had an idea, what if we brought chefs who are tastemakers for the city and for the country up to Washington County, get them, they get the religion of local and sustainable in New York, and then they come back and they can change their practices. There's one influence, not just their restaurant, other restaurants in New York, but food trends in the country globally. So we got a New York State Agri Markets grant. We were in 4 sessions last year. We had chefs from Jean-Georges, Savoy, Bulgaria. We had people from Murray's Cheese, from Green Markets. Really great experience. Lived in our farm, raising pigs, chickens on pasture, poultry processing, meat processing, on-farm dairy, bottling, maple production, farmland preservation, goat, sheep making. 36 hours. It's a pretty intensive 36 hours. But Sunday, we're going to make it available to people who are working in the restaurant. We have Monday off usually. So from Sunday noon, and we get them on the 7 o'clock train back on Monday. It's pretty crazy, 36 hours, long days, but